All right, this is Mark Bell. We're in Smelly's kitchen, and my family's eating, so you might hear some background chatter and some background noise. But we're going to make up some Slingshot protein yogurt, which is delicious. It's the way that I finish off almost every single night. So I have hydrolyzed whey protein from Slingshot. This has about 30 grams of protein per scoop. So we're mixing that with some yogurt, and we also are going to throw in some collagen protein as well. Normally I just am making this for myself, but I'm going to make up 2 servings, and I usually like to have a little bit more than just what's in here. The type of yogurt that you use is sort of up to you as well. But for what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to freeze it. I've just learned that this yogurt works really well once you freeze it. And other yogurts, sometimes they work a little differently, but this one works well. This is a Greek yogurt, and it's a grass-fed one. It doesn't matter if yours is grass-fed or not. Just find a yogurt that you like is the basis of it. And this is plain yogurt, so I never buy, vanilla or any of the other kinds. But I suppose you could, if you're somebody that didn't mind having a little bit of sugar. This is a great way to end the day. I personally love to end my days with something sweet. And it's very difficult when you're trying to adhere to a carnivore diet, a keto diet, but there's not a lot of carbohydrates in this thing. There's like 6 grams of carbs or something like that. You can see all the stats right here. 130 grams or 130 calories, 5 or 6 grams of fat, pretty good amount of protein. I'm gonna take about half of this one, making one of these up for my cameraman too, so he can enjoy. Oh man. Oh man. Hardest part about this is trying to get this damn yogurt out of here. Now I've played around with some other stuff. I messed around with using cream cheese, and I messed around with using sour cream, and actually all of them work pretty good, believe it or not. But yogurt's kind of the best because it has a good amount of protein in it. But yogurt does have that kind of tang to it. It's hard to pull that flavor out. It's hard to, some people like that flavor, but it's kind of a soury taste to it. So now all we do is this. Y'all ready for this? Go. Yeah. You could perhaps put a scoop in and then throw the scoop of Slingshot protein in, but I've learned that it just doesn't matter. It just ends up being a little bit crazy. I like to throw a little cinnamon in there, so we'll just use a little bit. It's also not bad to throw a little salt. We're athletes around here, so we could use the sodium. Now, we're gonna start to mix this in, and just kind of be careful, because if I started going all crazy on this, it would start to just flow everywhere and go everywhere. So scoop it out of the bottom and try to bring it over top. You could perhaps use an immersion blender. You could use one of these things, a whisk, but I'm not smart enough, so I'm just gonna do it this way. Just gonna work on it. Let it take its time. It doesn't seem like it's ever going to mix, but it will. Trust me. See how dry it is there? See all that powder? Just let it all keep going. And you'll have some clumps in there, and what you're gonna wanna do when you have some clumps is you wanna try to smash it down. But if you end up with clumps later, they're actually really good. So like little chewy bites of protein. I know it probably sounds gnarly, but it's good. Trying to not let it stick to the bowl too much. Get a nice forearm finger workout here. So that guy's mixed up. Now we're gonna dump some collagen in there as well. Who cares about a scooper, right? We don't need any scooper. Throw a good amount of that in there. And now we'll mix this guy in too. Take your time with it, otherwise it's gonna spill everywhere. Trust me, I've done it a million times. You gotta be patient. Take your time with it, go around the outsides. Again, you could probably do this a lot faster with a bigger bowl, immersion blender, or a whisk. Probably be smoother, but Mark Smelly Bell loves the hard road. We're almost done. See, this isn't like instant. It doesn't take 5 seconds, but it takes just a couple minutes. And I'm gonna put these in the freezer, and that's the whole key. The whole key to this whole process is to have the patience to throw it in the freezer. Now see these lumps? See, we got some lumps here, like that guy. So we're just gonna push that guy up against the side there and break that open. Just little pockets that just for whatever reason, they're like impervious to getting wet for whatever reason. So there's another one, just kind of knock it out. Unless you like them, which I don't mind them personally. It's kind of up to you on how lumpy you want it. So now we're just gonna do the same thing with this other one. Get to work on that. Mixing it. Again, taking your time. Going around the outsides. That's mixed up good enough. Throw some of this in there. There we go. Now this will taste really good right now, but it'll taste really a lot better if you let it freeze. Turns into ice cream pretty much. There's other stuff you can do if you're passionate about trying to actually turn this into ice cream. You could throw some heavy cream in here, things like that. I messed around with it for a while and came up with a pretty good recipe, but I'm not ready to share it yet. I still got some work to do on that. That recipe was making me fat though, because I was eating it every night for too long, and too many taste tests. And there we go. Now we're just gonna stick these in the freezer and be ready to go. So there's another episode of Smelly's Kitchen. We'll be pulling these out of the freezer a little bit later, and you can see they're soupy. See, they're soupy. They're moving around a little bit. And another thing I learned is you might want to stick a spoon in them before you put them in the freezer, because it depending on how long you leave it in there, it might end up being like super frozen. So I'm gonna stick these in our freezer downstairs where there's a little bit more room. Ooh. All right. Put those guys right there. Next to that Piedmontese beef. So these are icon meals, meatballs and steaks and stuff like that. And there you have it. Took a little bit of time, took a few minutes, but there's nothing better than sitting down, watching some Netflix with the family, watching a movie with the family, and eating on some healthy yogurt that's spiked with protein. What we got going on in here? Oh, ooh! Look at that! It like froze, like sideways. Weird. What was going on in here? Ooh, it's like really frozen in there. Turned into ice cream. Magic. That is some good shit. So 1 scoop of vanilla Slingshot protein. You can do it with chocolate too. 1 scoop vanilla Slingshot protein. I did 1.5 cups of that yogurt. You guys saw the yogurt that I used. It was Greek yogurt. And then I did about 2 scoops of collagen protein in there as well. Yogurt was plain. Collagen protein and Slingshot protein, both vanilla. Get your Slingshot protein over at markbellslingshot.com. Make yourself some damn yogurt. This is absolutely amazing. Take some yogurt, take some Slingshot protein, mix it up as I did, throw it in your freezer, and you got something amazing. Strength is never weakness, weakness never strength. Catch you all later.